Brittany Renner recently pulled off the hijab, and obviously this is shortly after. I'll give y'all some visuals too to go along with it. This is shortly after what happened with Kevin Gates, as far as her saying that she was divorced, and this is what she was doing previously. She was being a plant life.
Is that Little Shop of Horror?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Evening, Seymour.
She was doing tattoo removals, all of that. And then lately, this is her latest one.
Never gave a damn. I ain't never gave no food. No.
So pulled off the hijab. And obviously, this is causing a lot of conversation on the intranets, right? So, what do y'all think about her transformation? What seems to be a transformation back to somewhat of what she used to be shortly after her divorce breakup with Kevin Gates. What are y'all thoughts about that?
You talking about back to holy?
Back to whatever. She playing the rap music, no longer plant life. Now it's no more hijab. Matter of fact, here, I'll read the caption of what she said. I think it said, I don't have blind loyalty to any person, place, or thing. Also, don't need excuses to do what I want to do because I accept whatever comes with my decisions. That's what she said.
I just think there was like one post. I don't think she's like going back to the streets.
I think she is. I think it's a slow introduction, like a soft launch back into where she was.
I don't know much about her, but I feel like this is what you can tell the women who do almost everything for male validation and not really themselves. It seems like everything I don't know her, but from what I've been seeing, it's just all for male validation because she can't stick to just one thing. She can't do anything just for herself and to be flip-flopping. It's like you're clearly doing all of this for some men. So I don't know. I just wish women would kind of stop worrying so much about what men want. Like if you're gonna be on a journey, do it for you. Don't be doing everything for a man because clearly all that whole get up, it wasn't for her. Otherwise, she would still be sticking with it. She needs some attention. These women be walking around with daddy issues so bad, and it just manifests in so many different ways. And I wish women would just stop doing everything for male validation and attention because they all over the place. She just seems like she's all over the place. Find out who you are and who you want to be, and stop doing it just because you think that's what men want. It's just, I don't know. That's it.
I don't think she did it for a man. I don't even think she did a change. I think she's been who she's always been. And she needed to revamp. She needed to get fresh eyeballs on her. So why not go from looking like the hoe to wholesome? And then use the fact that somebody, I don't know, it messed up, did you wrong, whatever, and go back to doing what you were doing before. Now you have the women on your side and you have the men on your side. I don't think she ever changed.
Slammy?
I think you called it. It was for content. It was a play. It was a play. I mean, I also talked to my homeboy about it. He's Muslim, and he was saying it's not really for anyone's, like, as far as their beliefs go, it's not for anyone else to judge outside of what she's doing, or out even inside Islam. It's not their place to judge. But he also said, if it seems like you are doing something for, in a way, he said, for attention, basically, I'm paraphrasing, for attention, you're not doing a service to what you're actually trying to attain by being Muslim. So you're going against the grain. So she's hurting herself by playing around like this. She needs to, if she gonna do a spiritual walk, do a spiritual walk. Like, or else it's just gonna look like what's already been said. She's looking for attention. She does seem kind of attention starved. You know, like I don't know what else to say about it, man. I think it's kind of sad that you would go that far to play with a religion. You then you kind of like had this stint with the man. Uh and then as soon as that stint is over, like shit, man, like I don't even think it's been 2 weeks. Like you done already took off the garbs or the hijab. I think it's a wild ride, and I think it's all for attention because, like they say, all publicity is good publicity. So I don't think she cares. At the end of the day, I think she planning her next big PR you know idea or whatever.
What do you think it would be, her next move?
I have no clue. She might do something with what's her name that played for the Chicago Sky. What's her name? The young girl, Angel Reese. She might do something with her. Might link up with her. Might link up with some other. Who knows? Who knows, man? She probably will try and get on DDG again by herself. It's so many avenues she could take for real. Shit, she could reach out to Anton and get back on there. Shit, for real. Like all publicity is good publicity. There's she can't do no wrong. She already just did the religious shit, so it's just like
Like what now?
there's no there, yeah. There's I mean the woman that went from being known for who she's dating to being in this guard to being at the BET Awards for no real reason to being married to a man. I mean, what's left? She's just gonna be an all-out hoe. I mean, like I don't think she's gonna go that route. So she'll find some way to be back in there. I think it's gonna be with linking up with some content creators. I think that's a way back into the algorithm. That's all she's trying to do. She got her name, she just pumping it in and out the algorithm.
Does she
That's
have a
all she
job?
gotta do.
Like, what is she famous for?
No, I don't. I never knew that. I never knew what
Men
she was
made her
famous for.
famous for her body and because she'll bust it open for a real one. We don't care about her as women. I never knew who she was until I got into this space.
Gotcha.
Hey, Molly, you never cease to amaze me. She ain't hold
Y'all will make
no
anybody
punches.
famous if their hair is the right texture, if their skin complexion is right, if they booty and shape. Y'all make anybody famous. So you don't have to have any kind of talent.
I don't know about y'all, but they do.
You 1000% have
No,
the
but
talent.
Not
what
for the general public, you
what's she
don't.
know? What was she known for, Quinn? I'm lost. I don't know.
Her sexual acumen.
Oh, yeah. She gonna win in that aspect.
Is that something you want to be known for as a woman?
She said she didn't have a talent. I said she did.
I think a lot of women are known for that.
Yeah, but how many people do you have to share your talent with to be known for having a talent?
You have to share it with NBA basketball players.
And honestly, it's a whole group of people that got all the rights in the world. We don't even know if they got talent. We just know their sexuality and they know, you know what I'm saying? So I don't think it matters at this point. I don't think it matters. Like it
Maybe
don't even
not.
matter if you good. All that matters is they know you busting it open. That's all that matter for real.
You might be
It's
right.
crazy. It's crazy that it's like that, but Molly is right.
She is the original IG thought pocket.
Damn, that's crazy, man.
I think she came in at a good time where men still cared about seeing women on the internet half naked.
Mm.
And
I
so it was
so.
still salacious, it was still a thing. Because now you can do it, but there's so many naked women online.
Your thing's buzzing.
What?
Your
It
Yeah,
thing's
you
might.
got like a feedback.
Hold on.
I'm not sure if I don't know, man. I've looked at all of this as a play with Britney. Um, I just think that everything that she does on the internet, my impression of it is it's a play. That's my impression of her. I don't look at anything that she's doing right now. But I said it. I said it when it came to the relationship thing, with the Kevin Gates thing, when it came to the Muslim thing and all of that stuff. And I remember I wish Carrie was here right now because I was talking to Carrie and Carrie was like, no, people change and all of that stuff. But do they really? Do women ever really change? You know what I'm saying? Honestly, from who it is that you experience them. When I see women, when I used to see women pop up on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, and I know what they are or I know what it is, and obviously they've evolved, and some of them wind up getting into a situationship or a marriage or whatever, and then they wind up being single a year or two from now, and it's like, are they trying to be something they not? Did they forget who they inherently are? I don't know what it is, but to an extent, I just look at it and I'll be like, do they ever really change? And I'm not sure if they do. I'm not sure if that's a thing.
I think people sometimes want to change and they fake it till they make it, right? You always hear people say that you should fake it till you make it, regardless of what that is. So I think that people do that a lot. And I think that sometimes people have the best of intentions to change and be different. Just like you can wake up tomorrow and be like, I'm not eating sugar for the rest of the week. And then 3 days in, you eating a Snickers. I mean, just it happens. We revert back, and sometimes it's just a habit, and habits are hard to break.
Is it a habit though, or is it who people really are?
I think it's a combination of the two. It just kind of depends on what the activity is, but yeah, I think it's a combination of the two. And after a while, being yourself is really a habit, right? You've been doing these same things that define you for so long that you think that it's actually you, but you can change. It just
I don't think so.
gonna take some time and a lot of effort.
I don't think so, Kim. Let me tell you what I believe. I believe that we are inherently who we are. I think that the problem is that we see other people and we try to be like them instead of being our version of whatever the best version of ourselves are, right? So I'll give you an example. Just a basic example, right? I'm a workaholic in some people's eyes. I love to work. The minute that I start to try to be on or I listen to a woman tell me some shit like, yo, you need to take more vacations or whatever like that, and I try to fit into that narrative, or no, let me revise it, right? Let me revise it. I'm not a club person, right? I'm a bar person. I like to go out. I like to kick it. I like to hang. I like to vibe. But I'm not a club person. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be at Dre's in Vegas. But when I try to do that, I don't feel comfortable because I feel like I'm a fish out of water. So I could force myself to become that, right? I'm not really a daytime person like that. My best work. I do it because I've evolved into it because it was what was best for my career when it was in corporate America. But I am a nocturnal vampire. I like being up at night. I like working at night. I like doing all of that type of shit at night. So I did it because I had to get to the bag. But my best work is going to come out when I'm doing the things that I do at night, right? So what I am saying is that I'm not sure that it's a bad thing for you to be inherently you, but I think that it's a bad thing for us to want to be something different because I don't think that we get the best thing out of ourselves. So with regard to Brittany Renner, I believe she can be a better version of herself, but I think that she's doing things in an extreme form of her trying to be something different. Well, maybe not, because I think she's just playing. But the point that I'm making is that I just think that we run away from who we are, but all we need to do is reprogram ourselves to what that looks like. So if you a hustler, you can be a hustler selling dope, or you could be a hustler getting money a legal way. You still a hustler. The problem is that when the hustler is trying to be like this nigga over here that ain't a hustler, it's going to be problematic for him because he's never going to feel comfortable in his own skin because that's not what he was born to do. You see what I'm saying? Like if you are that, you could repurpose it to be something positive, or you could repurpose it to how it is that you do it. But if you sit there and say you're not a hustler, then you lying to yourself. That's where I think that the misunderstanding of it is. We look at people and we say, okay, I need to be that instead of I need to be a different version of what I am. I don't know if that makes sense though.
It does, but I think you need to see other people to have something to strive for sometimes. So like, what do you think of drug addicts or alcoholics who used to be deep into their addiction, now they're not? Do you think that they changed, or
I think an addiction is different though, because that's a vice.
I think it's still part of who they are, though. It's like an addictive. I believe that addiction comes from having an addictive personality, which I think is genetic, but that's a whole nother thing.
I don't think so, Kim.
I don't know.
Because we all addicted to something. All of us is addicted to something.
Woo.
All of us are addicted to something. Every last one of us.
What are you addicted to?
Hustling, getting to it. I'm a hustler. I'm addicted to that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's one of the things that some of us have multiple different things that we addicted to. And it could be used for positive or it could be used for negative. Anything that we do, it could be positive or it could be negative. You could be addicted to a toxic situation, or a person can repurpose it and be addicted to the gym, right? Like you can repurpose it into looking at it into a different form, but it doesn't have to necessarily be something that like it doesn't have to necessarily be applicable to alcohol, or it don't have to necessarily be applicable to drugs. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but is addiction ever good, and is that something that you should be seeking to change?
It could be. It absolutely could be. I think that the problem is that we don't have balance. I think that the one thing about we might even be framing it wrong by saying addiction. Because a lot of times I just think that it's purpose misdirected. Like, and I like to use a drug dealer example as it, right? You could be a person. I think that drug dealers are some of the best businessmen in the world. Their ability to be able to market effectively, understanding the marketplace, logistics, like they really have mastered every single aspect of what business is, but they're misdirecting it, or they're directing it into the wrong industry, into the wrong space. Those guys could literally run some of the greatest companies of all time. Seriously. But because they don't want to get the education behind it, because they don't want to actually do something that's positive with it, I think that is misdirected. You could literally apply that to, I remember looking at Lord of War, right? The movie with Nicolas Cage. And when he went straight and he was selling trees and stuff, for him, the money just wasn't fast. It wasn't that he wasn't good at it. It wasn't that he wasn't successful for it. It wasn't that he was just addicted. He just wanted to be in a game. He wanted to be a gun runner. So he took his same skill set and he applied it to something else, but it was misdirected.
I see what you're saying, but I don't think addiction is good for anything. My personal definition of addiction is like when you're willing to choose whatever that is over people. I think at that point it becomes an addiction, and I don't care what it is. Like, let's just say I drink champagne all day, right? And I have a husband who's like, "Oh, well, you need to stop drinking champagne. It's me or the champagne," and I choose the champagne. That's when I've chosen my addiction over people. And so, I just looked it up because I was curious, and it says it's a neurological disorder characterized by a persistent and intense urge to use a drug or engage in behavior that produces natural reward despite substantial harm and other negative consequences. So I don't know. I feel like that's more in line about what I feel about like the word addiction for sure. Like I don't think that there's a healthy addiction.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm not sure if we using the right word to describe it though, because that could be a vice. If I never ever, I would never try cocaine. I would never try crack. I wouldn't know whether I get, it's the ingredients in it is an addictive ingredient. You know what I'm saying? So it's people that have never had sugar before. And I've seen videos where people bring a Coca-Cola over there and they give it to them and they be like, and then they sensors be like crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because it does something to the brain. So I think that some of the stuff that we're talking about, it's not even so much about you have an addictive personality. Some of that stuff is chemical. Some of that stuff is the stuff that they putting in your food. Some of the stuff is whatever it is that makes you hooked onto it. They say never ever try certain drugs because you'll be chasing that high for the rest of your life. So I'm not sure if that's applicable to this conversation. You know what I'm saying? Because having an addictive personality doesn't necessarily apply when it comes to having a vice. So I don't know. I think that vices is different, but I think that inherently who you are as far as your day-to-day actions, I think that we all kind of are meant to be great at certain things, and sometimes it can be misdirected. So, but I think she playing though in this
I
particular
was just gonna say, so if she's addicted to attention,
yeah.
is that a vice or is that part of an addictive personality?
Well, it's misdirected because, like for example, could that be applied differently to where she could be more successful in another field?
Like what?
I don't know. Acting. Just right off the top of my head. The attention that she's seeking could be from men, male validation. But it will make her a great content creator if she applied herself more effectively, maybe. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I mean, I can't necessarily take her situation and just right off the top of my head, but I think that everything could be directed in a positive or a negative way. So I don't know. Anybody else got anything on this subject?
Yeah, I think she need to find I think she need to find like her niche, like because I don't think she's found it. Like bouncing around like this, I don't think it looks good. So I think she need to figure something out. But who am I? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, but how many of us need to figure something out? I mean, you have 40, 50-year-olds still talking about, well, when I grow up, I want to be whatever. Just this is the path that she's taken. So I don't necessarily see anything wrong with it because it's not hurting me. I would wish better for her. But I mean, if she's happy, you like it, I love it.